If you're a Marvel fan, it is good to be alive. We've gotten WandaVision, we've gotten Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we still got 4 Marvel movies that are coming out, and now we have Loki. So let's break down the first episode. So if you watch Endgame, you know how this starts. Pretty much the Avengers go back in time. They're trying to get all the Infinity Stones. They're trying to get the Tesseract. Hulk goes down the stairs, blasts open the door, knocks over Iron Man. The suitcase goes flying, and Loki sees the Tesseract, goes to his feet, picks it up, disappears. What you didn't see is that it took him to the Gobi Desert. He's in Mongolia. Pretty much the locals there are like, what are you doing here? And then all of a sudden these people start coming out of these portals, and Loki's like, well, what the hell's going on? And it was like, well, you're a variant and you're under arrest. He's like, whatever, I'm not under arrest. He goes to do something, lady hits him with this nightstick of sorts. He starts moving at 1/16 speed, so he's all moving slow, falling backwards. She puts a collar on him. He's like, hey, you still feeling all this in real time? And then they take him away. That's my number 5 moment. So my number 4 moment was the whole booking process. Now the TVA is who picked him up, Time Variance Authority. They're pretty much like time police for the timeline. And the booking process, if you ever been arrested before, was like just like any other processing, except for, comic book and futuristic and so on and so forth. He gets there, and there he's told to take off his clothes. He's like, this is Asgardian leather, so the machine is vaporized to clothes off. Then he gets dropped down, the trap door opens up, and he falls, and now he's in his jumpsuit. So pretty much just like in jail. They got TVA on there for Time Variance Authority. He's told that he needs to sign this paperwork. It's every word they ever said. He says what? Another paper pops out. He says something else, another paper pops out. He's like, gotta sign those too. Signs paperwork, gets dropped down another chute. So then he's asked if he is a robot, and he's like, most people don't know they're robots. And he's like, well, what's going to happen if I am? He's like, well, you're going to get vaporized. Then he starts to question himself, like, am I a robot? He steps through, everything's fine, he's not a robot. So then he gets to where I guess he's about to see the judge or the magistrate, and he's told to take a ticket. He's like, there's only 2 of us in here. And he's like, take your ticket. One guy ahead of him didn't take a ticket. Loki takes his ticket. Other guy starts getting lippy with the bailiff, talking about, I ain't got no ticket, he ain't offered me one, so on and so forth. Bailiff didn't even hesitate, boom, vaporized him. So Loki starts to panic and starts looking for his ticket, and finds the ticket, like, all right, here it is, then please don't vaporize me. So he gets in front of the magistrate. The magistrate's like, how do you plead? And he was like, of what? He was like, of messing up the timeline. He's like, the Avengers went back in time and did all that stuff. That wasn't me, but if you need my help round them up, I can help you out. And he was like, no, they were supposed to do that. Or she said they were supposed to do that. You weren't supposed to escape. And then Loki's all looking funny, and it's like he tries to use his powers. Magic doesn't work in the Time Variance Authority. So I guess he's about to get vaporized, and then Owen Wilson comes to save him. So that was my number 4 moment. So at number 3, I got the fact that Loki was D.D. Cooper. So Owen Wilson is like questioning him about, different things that he's done in the past, and he gets to the part where they show him on a plane, and stewardess walks up to him and is like, do you need something? He hands her a note. It says, you better look at that, because I have a bomb right here. And it was how the whole D.D. Cooper thing pretty much went down, to the point to where he has his parachute, he has his money, and then he's like, brother, handoff, you better be ready. And he jumps out the plane, and then the Rainbow Bridge comes, picks him up, and a few bills were left behind. So I guess that's what people found. So I guess they felt like, he jumped out. But yes, D.D. Cooper never got caught, because D.D. Cooper was an Asgardian, and he was Loki. So my number 2 moment is a two-parter. The first one is now Owen Wilson starting to break down what happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when he doesn't disappear. They go into Thor 2 and he showed how he was talking to his mom Freya, and the Dark Elves show up and he sends them in the direction he thought Thor was going to be in, but really he sent them in the direction of Freya, and then she gets killed and he finds out that he's the reason why she died. So that starts to kind of eat at him a little bit. He finds a way to get away because the woman interrupts Owen Wilson, the woman that beat up Loki before, wanting to vaporize him. Owen Wilson's like, no, we need him. But in the commotion, Owen Wilson or Loki stole the controller that was controlling him, and he zaps himself to the hallway. He sees the guy that took the Tesseract. He gets to him. He's like, I need the Tesseract back. The guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, look, give it to me or I'll gut you like a fish. He was like, what's a fish? He was like, Loki's like, you don't know what a fish is? He was like, I've been behind the desk my whole life. I don't know what a fish is. So then he opens up the desk and he shows him the Tesseract, but then he sees all these Infinity Stones and he's like, why do you have all these Infinity Stones? He's like, yeah, some of the guys use them as paperweights around here. Now, all right, we're gonna get into some nerd talk real quick. The reason why the Infinity Stones, he has so many of them and they don't work there, is because the Infinity Stones only work in your universe, in whatever universe it came from. Because the time variance is in between the multiverses, once the stones go there, they have no power. So Loki's just now finding that out. But if you're a comic book fan, you know why they didn't work. So that was my number 2 moment. So my number 1 moment is he goes back to where they were showing if he didn't escape, how his life went. So he sees Thor, and he sees how Odin passes away, and he sees how Hela comes, and Loki has to help Thor with Hela to save Asgard, and finds out Asgard gets sacrificed. And then he sees himself on the spaceship, and then he sees Thanos comes, and then he sees how he took on Thanos and how Thanos kills him. So now he's like, wow, well, if I go back, I'm going to die. So now he really doesn't know what he's going to do. Owen Wilson comes and he's not even trying to fight him. And he's like, hey, I asked him, I really can't go back. And Owen Wilson's like, no, you can't. So then Owen Wilson's like, also Loki's like, so who you need my help with? Who's killing all these time variance people? And Owen Wilson goes, well, it's you. And I was kind of puzzled because, when he first started questioning him, he's like, well, you're a pussycat. I'm like, well, if he's a pussycat, but he's the one killing people, what the hell's going on? So anyway, either way it goes, that was my number 1 moment. So as far as my thoughts go, obviously there wasn't a lot of action in the first episode. There never is. WandaVision, there wasn't a lot of action in the first 2 or 3 episodes. In Falcon and Winter Soldier, in the first episode, there wasn't a lot of action, so pretty much they're just laying the groundwork. So, but it was still a good episode because there was a lot of information and you learn a lot of things from it. So I liked it. Can't wait for the next one. Which I was one of the ones that actually get the advance, where there are some big YouTubers that get the first 2 episodes, they get to watch it and then get to talk about it. So I don't get to do that. I'm like everybody else, I gotta wait till next Wednesday to talk about episode 2. And I'm assuming that what they're going to do is, I know in comic books Loki went through different changes where he was a girl and then he was a kid again. So maybe they might go in a direction, maybe they won't. I don't know. Guess we're all about to find out soon. In saying that, if you are new here to SEM, please hit the subscribe button and become part of this SEM Nation. Which comparison, you see a bell notification, when the video comes out. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. My name is Dorian. This is SEM. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a good day.